Welcome back to Fast Money, and that's a wrap on Consensus 2018, the world's largest Bitcoin and blockchain conference. It's now over. Twitter and Square CEO Jack Dorsey took the stage for a fireside chat earlier today and had this to say about cryptocurrencies.
I'm just approaching this with the principle of the internet deserves a native currency. It will have a native currency. I don't know if it will be Bitcoin or not. I hope it will be. I am a huge fan and appreciate so much the technology.
So will Dorsey's wish come true? Will Bitcoin be the true winner? Is there something to be said for first mover advantage, so to speak, having the deepest liquidity? Because now you have all these apps and platforms being built using and recognizing Bitcoin as the main cryptocurrency because of the liquidity factor.
Because of the network effect. So network
yes.
effect is very big in this, right? Network effect is very big in any currency. That being said, if you look at the history of tech, and let's just step back and remember that this is technology. That's all that Bitcoin is. It's software that allows you to send money around the world and send value around the world without a middleman. So that's all this is. If I look back at the history of technology, I know that MySpace came before Facebook, and Facebook was better. I know that everything tech disrupts itself. So for me, my investments are in the entire space, in the ecosystem, that we're very small now, and this ecosystem's gonna begin to grow, and Bitcoin is one big part of that ecosystem.
Do you follow Square very closely, and you're a shareholder, so I'll ask the side of the desk. Do you like it that Jack Dorsey has sort of come out and been a vocal proponent of Bitcoin?
Actually, not really, because I don't like that part of the Square valuation being Bitcoin related, right?
When it's a small part.
When it's such a tiny part, they did go to, I think, make efforts to break out exactly how small it is. But there's so much else going on at Square that I think is so much more important and relevant to the story.
I agree, but I do like it for that exact reason. I like it that it's not enough to hurt it on the way down, but it's enough to get people interested, that it does have some Bitcoin nuance to it. But Sarah Fryer, the CFO of Square, mentioned, I think yesterday or the day before, they're a fintech company or a tech company that happens to be a payment processor. That's the way to look at Square. It's a tech company. Don't get your head around a valuation about a payment processor, because then you're lost.
Well, and their Cash App has got 7 million users. I mean, the Cash App is surprisingly, it's not surprisingly strong. It is strong, and it's surprising how strong it is. So, I mean, these guys have so much opportunity to cross-sell on the services side, and that's what they're talking about. I think they're as well-positioned as anybody out there, and the fact that their business does get caught up in this, yes, it makes you nervous as a shareholder because you get caught in these swings,
right.
But that's not something that they can control.
All right. Well, many crypto investors were expecting a rally this week in crypto due to all the buzz around Consensus, but that didn't quite happen. In fact, take a look at this chart. Bitcoin underperforming, down 5% since Monday. So let's bring in Danny Masters, chairman of CoinShares, which launched the world's first publicly traded Bitcoin and Ethereum fund. So were you surprised that the rally didn't materialize?
To be honest, I've been so busy, I didn't hear the chat about the Bitcoin rally going on before Consensus. I'd say that it's 3 years now, almost to the day, that we launched Bitcoin Tracker 1. Cryptocurrency was very small back then. Anyone visiting Consensus this week will realize that 8,000 enthusiasts, folks coming to participate in and to build, a new financial model, a new financial paradigm. It was a very, very exciting week.
What struck me, and I wasn't at Consensus, so maybe this didn't strike you, or maybe this is not the right takeaway, is that there seemed to be a lot of announcements this week focusing on custodial services, including an announcement from Nomura, which also involved your parent company, CoinShares. And so I'm just wondering, it feels like there's a sort of a maturation of the industry, because with those solutions, institutions can now get in more easily.
Well, I think at the base layer, whenever you're looking at an asset class, we need to know who's looking after those assets, where are they actually residing? And that has been something that's been woefully lacking in the crypto space generally. So, yes, you're correct, there was an announcement today. Unfortunately, I can't talk about that in this particular part of the world. Came out of Japan. But we've seen Zappo continue to mature as an institutional platform. They're our favorite provider and have done a fabulous job with us. We've seen Coinbase come with institutional product. We've seen BitGo and Kingdom Trust formulate something. And this is really the bedrock of what institutions need and new products need, new listings need in order to go forward.
So, Danny, I'm going to ask you the question I get asked all the time. Bitcoin down from 20,000 to about 8,200 or something. People say, is it done? But then we're seeing all this infrastructure being built. So what inning? First inning? Seventh inning? Where are we?
I still think it's very early. Again, I spent maybe 15 or 20 years watching the energy and commodity markets begin from, an industrial logistics business into a high-frequency trading business, all the derivatives, indices, pricing, models, and so on that go on around that. We're nowhere near that part yet. We're not even at the part where I would say institutional investors even started in commodities. They are, because of these things, indexation, custody, and so on, aren't there to bring in those bigger people just yet.
Yeah, and
so early. Yeah.
To that point, what was interesting was the CFTC commissioner basically saying this week that they wanted to hear comments about whether or not Ether is considered a security or a commodity, because that will do a lot as to whether or not futures could be written against Ether. Is there a trade in this, Danny? I mean, do you take a look at what's going on and think, if Ether is the next to have futures associated with it, is there a trade? What would the trade be?
I would say that the trade all along has been to realize that Ether's particular use case is informing capital and being a base for the initial coin offering technology. Now, when you overlay that ICO process with really heavy-duty regulation, that's bad for Ethereum. So Ethereum is almost the mirror image of regulation, and in as much as that's lightened, Ethereum will do well, and if it's strengthened, it'll do poorly.
So what is your view then on Ethereum?
I think they hit it as hard as they could hit it, and I think the low is in. What we've also seen in the crypto space generally is that companies and networks and hardware even that are associated with this industry are very mobile. Look at the transformation we saw in China with all of these assets moving offshore, these companies moving offshore. There are pockets in the world where regulation is benign and businesses are going to gravitate that way.
So that's a great point that I wanted to hit you on here. This is a global asset class, right? Asia is huge.
Yeah.
Does the U.S. matter? I mean, if the U.S. SEC comes in and says, hey, you know what, Ethereum is a security, does it matter to the ecosystem?
That statement would hurt Ethereum. There's no question about it. But no, I don't think, the internet is a global phenomenon, and I think cryptocurrency is equally global. And I think this ecosystem will be built out in whichever jurisdictions are friendly towards it. We've seen a tremendous number of people here at Consensus. It would be a shame if the environment around the work they want to do and the investments they want to make is hostile. That would be a shame, but it's not going to kill it.
So let me ask you, you keep talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as an asset class. Does that mean you that the idea of Bitcoin used as a, transactionable currency is not really what's driving it anymore, or shouldn't be what's driving it?
Well, I think Bitcoin is, to coin a phrase, it's almost the reserve currency of crypto. It's the thing that everybody goes back to because it's got the infrastructure, because it's got most network connections and exchange connections. That's sort of the bedrock. Each other classification or family of blockchains will serve a different purpose. We talked just about Ethereum, but you could talk equally about other networks that have specific purpose. So, there's the capital formation side. Those are obviously assets. There's some concept of that. And then those assets in turn power the networks, and the transaction fees that then accumulate on the networks accrue value for those tokens themselves. So it's not a simple case by any means, but I think there are a bunch of different assets. This is part of the taxonomy work that we're doing with Imperial College to actually figure out which are assets, which are networks, which are payment tokens, and so on.
We're pressed for time, but I have to ask you, will Bitcoin see its previous highs?
Look, I think we need to see this structure continue to build. We need to see the custody solutions come and be provided. We need indices and we need performance measures where we can actually start to understand what we're talking about and measure our performance. We need to do more mature work around the ICOs so that post-ICO we have a token life cycle. Melton Demir's just joined us, who I think you know, to help us work with that and just give investors more clarity, better expectations, more transparency.
Is that yes or no? Yes, okay. Danny, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Danny Masters, CoinShares.
Sounded like a laurel.
I don't even understand. Can someone explain?
Nobody. Don't bother, Danny. Things to do.
You hit me with Bitcoin rally from Consensus. What was that?
It's more confusing than Bitcoin.
Laurel.
Yeah.
So I play it, the way I play it is either through the chip space or, I've been in and out of Overstock, and Overstock has been hit dramatically. It almost had a round trip. I got back into Overstock recently ahead of Consensus Week, and it's already starting to pop. I'm I'm playing it for that ICO marketplace.
The sense I get is that no one knows whether Bitcoin is going to be the horse to ride off into glory, or is it just the one that gets the most infrastructure built around it? What we've heard from people, including Bitcoin Jesus yesterday, is that you've got a case where if a currency doesn't have a utility, there's no reason for it. And it's not about speculation. I think it is right now about speculation. So, I mean, those are my points today. I think that Bitcoin remains in vogue because enough is being built around it. As Danny said, you need the infrastructure. It's happening. But ultimately, it's building the infrastructure for other things.
Well, I take a view, particularly on the coin side, that we're going to have multiple networks, and Danny alluded to it. Each of these networks, each of these coins are going to provide their own function. So Bitcoin becoming the reserve currency, Ethereum perhaps being the smart contract. We'll have a judicial system that is decentralized and a network that does that. Perhaps something like a Ripple works with the banks. And so you have this entire internet of blockchains, and that's how I view the ecosystem going out. So you can play it via the coins, you can play it via some of the names that these guys mentioned.
I have to ask you this, though.
Yeah.
Why didn't we see that rally? I mean, you were at the Plasma last week saying that this was going to be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin. Didn't happen.
It has been. I think, there have been a couple big sellers out there. We've heard about Mt. Gox potentially being in the market, selling some. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. But behind the scenes, as Danny alluded to, there's so much going on. I mean, I was at this conference all week. There is developers from all over the world. There are things going on in Asia that we don't even know about. They're so far ahead of it. So, are we down this week? Did we not get the consensus rally? Maybe it was already priced in. Maybe that was part of the rally coming up. But in general, I think you have to be fairly bullish on this sector.